Hey guys, Jordan Nicholson here for CJN Productions. We're at the Kamloops Convention Center today where Bif Naked is about to perform an acoustic show. We're just going to jump inside here and see if we can't get a few words with her before she goes on. Bif traded in her rock band this year for a more intimate acoustic tour. She talked to me a little bit about what it was like to get her career started 20 years ago.
Well, when I first got into the music scene, it was very different from today. I can't imagine being a young band just starting today. It would suck. I think anyways. We basically were really self-sufficient. We lived out of our van and we toured all across Canada, all down in the States, no record deal, sold cassette tapes, out of the back of the van, and just basically shared, we shared, burritos and split them into four, and I don't know. I remember one show we played at a place in Portland, Oregon, and the promoter was a little shady, to say the least, but we were a very young band. I mean, we were all probably 17 or 18. Probably not legal for us to be in the venue. And he paid us $23. And we had to get to Riverside, California for the next show. And that's basically, it was gas money, and it barely covered it. And then we got there, and the venue in Riverside had burned down the day before or something. It was like, oh no. But all of those things shape you, and they make you very resilient, and they make you kind of appreciate it when everything goes well. And I don't even mean well in like getting well known well. I just mean like it's not burned down. You're relieved, or if anyone goes. So I think that all of that original experience helped me in my career, which so far has been 21 years. Just with all the tours and all the variables of things that can go amiss, and you just have fun with everything. So it really helped.
Bif said she likes to express her personality in all areas of her life.
Well, basically, I don't think that it was ever a deliberation or deliberate that I tried to have a persona. I always just was myself. And I've always had a big mouth. And I've always really been just very interested in things that are, really socio-political, that affect people. I don't like injustice. Nobody does. And I think that in our culture, in our society, we've basically been conditioned to be really polite, not necessarily nationally, but I just mean with my mother, for example, is a nice Minnesota girl, and she's very polite. And so her three daughters, myself being the middle, were very polite, and people don't tend to appreciate it when you speak out, especially if you're a girl. And that did gain me a reputation as being outspoken, but I really don't think that I ever was outspoken. I think that I just simply said the things that a lot of people are too polite to say. And I think that's the bottom line. I'm still that way.
She talked a little bit about her recent challenges with cancer and how that affected the people around her.
Well, it's weird, when part of, besides being outspoken, I had a reputation for being fit or being a vegan or being healthy or not, being a non-drinker. And so to get a cancer diagnosis was extremely surprising for me personally, but for everyone. And cancer is a really weird issue, man, for people and for families. It's really embarrassing. For everyone. People feel bad. They don't want anyone to feel bad for them, so they like to keep it within the family, and it's very isolating, and it's alienating for people. And I keep going back to saying families because it affects everyone. And for me, I was a newlywed at the time that I was diagnosed. Gong show, people. Gong show. Just saying. And that was very interesting. And our young Walker is doing very well. That's my husband, who covers WHL, by the way. So big shout outs to everyone here. Anyways, it was difficult. I understand the genealogy. behind my particular cancer, and I did 6 rounds of chemotherapy and 11 rounds after that of something called Herceptin. So 17 rounds in total. I had a surgical port implanted under my collarbone with a catheter that was threaded up through my jugular vein for 11 months. So recording the Promise record was challenging for me physically because every time I sang in the studio, my lymph glands would swell up and it would press on the thing, and it was just a big issue, but we got it done. And then, you know, once you make a record and release it, you basically have to tour to support it. So we probably started touring a little too early for me, but you know, the show must go on. The show goes on. So we went and did a national tour last summer, and then toured in the States, and it was the full rock show, and it was insanity. But I just really personally felt that it was a camera phone tour. And for me it was odd because I felt a little bit like the dancing cancer monkey. Because it wasn't like Bif Naked fans, it was like just this real mix of people that I believe wouldn't have otherwise attended, which is great that they came, but it was really strange to see the sea of camera phones, and that was weird. And I don't know if that is simply our technological advancements since, you know, the year I hadn't toured, or whether or not it was just me being self-conscious, but I think it was a combination of all of those different issues. So it was very strange, and I'm glad that we did that tour, but I really prefer the work that I do back home in Vancouver. I volunteer full-time at the cancer agency, and I meet the rookies, and it just enabled me to basically, you know, really explore some things I wouldn't have had a chance to explore otherwise. So I like doing that a lot. I really don't want to give that job up. I wish it paid in a way, but I would do it for free, which I am. And I started doing speaking engagements on behalf of cancer patients, which is something that I would like to dedicate full time to, which I can't yet, but I will. And right now we're doing acoustic shows, which is just really the direction I feel more comfortable doing. It enables me to speak with the audience and have more of a connection with them, which is kind of what I'm pretty spoiled about, working with all the patients and families. It's something that I really like.
This isn't the first visit Bif made to Kamloops. She says she's fascinated by the beauty and history of the area.
Oh, Kamloops is beautiful. We always say Kamloops looks like, we name up like a million cities in Wyoming, because this area is just very, it's very beautiful, but it's very auspicious too. There's a lot of burial grounds here, and it's got a lot of history. And that's something that's really intriguing. And there aren't a lot of places like it that is such a big population in such a kind of a really neat land frame, you know. So I really like the city itself. And the people here are great. A couple guys earlier were saying, well, you know, Kamloops is a blue-collar town. And I don't really know what that means, because often for my generation, that is all, it's not derogatory, but it kind of speaks to a different kind of person. And what I take it as is they were trying to say that people here who live here work very hard. People work hard for their living, like anybody does, but they're not kind of messed up with the big city trappings, if you will, of Vancouver, where, you know, people will basically go bankrupt to drive a Maserati, like things that are just so unimportant. And here, you know, if you go bankrupt, it's for the right reasons, because you're trying to save the farm, or because you're trying to, you know, save your house. And there's just something just really natural about the area, and everyone here is just friendly and just really easygoing.
Well, Bif even found time to come up to the Aurora restaurant, where she had a meet and greet with the public who were there for the free appies that were offered. For CJN Productions, I'm Jordan Nicholson.